So, when we left off last week, there was some discussion, I believe, about having a conversation with a troll.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I believe one of us was thinking that she was able to talk a troll out of eating humans.
Yeah, I think she was thinking that until she made her lore check and realized what it is exactly that trolls eat. Yeah, that's a good point. So if you'll recall, that was in response to Barnabas Butterbur informing you about some people out in Combi who have been complaining about their livestock being slaughtered. So I think everybody was interested in going out that way.
Yes.
But when we left off, we were still in the Prancing Pony having lunch, so that's where we will pick up.
We are having lunch and discussing trolls, which I think we can persuade.
Well, I've never seen a troll, but I'd like to see one. As to talking to one, do they actually understand what we have to say? I can understand you, and I hope you can understand me. I can barely understand our elven friend here, but I understand him. But will a troll understand us?
I think there's always a way to make anyone understand us if we don't mean to do them any harm.
I would imagine
the troll always tries to harm you.
Has Hamson been up around Hobbiton before?
Well, Hamson's been to Hobbiton and been to the Shire several times, yes. He is from a small village. Years? Well, he is only just of age, so his parents would have taken him on trips, yes, definitely. Yes, maybe, okay. But he was young and running around and not paying too much attention.
Sure. Well, you may have heard some stories from the local younglings in Hobbiton who will, get together and chat when the older hobbits are engaging in their activities. There's a pretty well-known hobbit up in Hobbiton by the name of Bilbo, who is a favorite amongst the younglings, who tells stories. And in one of his stories, he did apparently have conversations with 3 trolls.
Oh, well, we can handle one troll then, no problem.
See? You can always have a conversation with anything.
But who's this Bilbo you're talking about?
Mr. Baggins. Oh, he is... Well, he went on adventures.
And they made him extremely wealthy.
Came back with... That's why I want to go out and find some treasure.
I believe Prince Legolas talked about him once.
Who?
Would he have? So... I don't know, even if you go by the Hobbit movie, I don't know that Legolas ever engaged with Bilbo. He would have been familiar with the dwarves, or at least known of them, but Bilbo was very sneaky the whole time he was in the Woodland Realm and rescued the dwarves by riding the barrels down the river. So I don't know that Prince Legolas would have known them.
The elves.
No, yeah.
Oh.
But at any rate, you may have heard stories of Bilbo of the Shire, because his story is becoming somewhat known in the times. It's been 5 years since he and the dwarves retook or helped to retake Erebor, and he took part in the Battle of 5 Armies. Or no, 15, right. Not 5, yeah. 15. So it's been a while. Word has spread. So yeah, you might be familiar with that name.
You're that big for all of us. Sorry.
Just ask a question here, everyone. What time are we planning on going? Is it going to be after breakfast or after second breakfast? Just need to make sure that I'm ready for 11sies on the journey.
If we have to go after one of your feeding frenzies, we will never leave.
I mean, how far away? It's just on the outskirts of town, isn't it?
It was under a day, I think we worked out last week.
Depending upon, but taking the road, yeah, you could probably even get there by evening tonight if you wanted to.
Oh, I've got lunch now, and then it's afternoon tea a bit later, and then dinner, and then there's supper. That's not really great for me. But perhaps if we leave after second breakfast,
no, let's
we can stop and have a picnic for 11sies, and then go and talk to the troll, deal with the troll, stop and have a second picnic for lunch, and then we could be back here for afternoon tea.
Roll you off a cliff because you get so fat from all your eating.
I think we need to pack a good sturdy bag full of all what you need, and if we get an appropriate time to stop and eat, we will eat. So just make sure that you've got a good stack of food packed in your bag.
You do realise it's not good to snack. You have to eat at regular times. Snacking is not a good thing.
Well, we'll do everything we can to make sure that you get what you need.
I'll pack a double picnic then. Yes, we'll be fine.
Okay, that was
Barnabas does
fantastic.
indicate to you all that Combi doesn't have an inn.
Oh.
It is a relatively small community, so if you went today and got there in the evening, you might be able to beg with a local to perhaps stay in their barn for the night. Hamson might be able to charm an actual room from one of the local hobbits, because there are hobbits and men living in Combi.
Maybe we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
So you really want to go this afternoon? Are you sure?
No, we're going to go. No, we're going now.
Now? I haven't finished lunch yet. I suppose it's a few hours till afternoon tea. Could I have some sandwiches and a flask of herbal tea, a jug of herbal tea to be taken? I'll heat it up on the way.
Of course, without a problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'll cook us a lovely dinner tonight. Maybe we can find some mushrooms.
We will have a look on the walk.
Mushrooms, fascinating. So much you can do with them. Saute them. Mushroom and mutton. A little bit of herbs. We'll be fine. So, that's, I'll need to get something. Oh, yes, dinner, mushrooms. Oh, I must go and get some. Thank you very much. I shall be ready very, very shortly. I need to go and pack. I need to check on Daisy as well. Daisy's going to enjoy the adventure.
Okay, so we'll meet back in, say, about 30 minutes.
Oh.
So, at what point are you actually going to be prepared to leave, Master Hobbit?
Well, lunch, 10 minutes to check the horse, probably half an hour of shopping. Yeah,
we'll be leaving in half an hour.
Maybe an hour, yes.
I'll be there.
Don't worry, I'll be there. Right, must go. I need mushrooms, I need some bread, I need some herbs. Oh, some turnips might be nice. Maybe some turnip soup. Oh.
And some half an hour.
Yes. No, I have perfect timekeeping. Do not worry about me.
If you're late, we will go without you, and we'll meet you back here this evening.
Oh please.
Time is of the essence.
Really? You leave me?
Well, no, but we have to. The light is fake. We have a certain amount of daylight hours.
Yes, it's lunch. We have long. It's spring. It's wonderful.
We need to keep a move.
Yeah? Of course.
I would hate to go without you, and it would be of a great disappointment if we went without you. But we have to keep,
We could save some time. Could you get Daisy ready to travel then?
No. I have
Is this to
do? Half an hour.
Half an hour.
You will be fantastically great at getting ready in that time.
I can see it to Daisy if you wish.
Oh, thank you. See, fine lady of the north here. Yes, Daisy likes a little apple just before she travels. Okay. I've got an apple here. If you feed her that, it's a very good apple. Don't eat it yourself, though. It's too sweet for us. But Daisy just loves them. Right,
Okay.
I need to go get shopping. I've got an hour to get ready in an hour. Let's go. I'll sketch her off to go and pick up some ingredients and some stuff.
Hamson either, I don't know, runs up to his room or runs across to the green where all the merchants are.
I am going to go across to the green and get some merchants. I'm going to pick up some basic cooking ingredients and try not to get distracted by new cooking pots. It's going to be hard.
Be a problem, isn't he?
In a half an hour, you are all waiting outside of the Prancing Pony.
Just getting my stuff now. I'll be right down. Maybe about 5 minutes.
Like I said, he's going to be a problem.
They will never go
Just like to
hungry.
be prepared.
As I load bags onto the back of Daisy. Whew. Well, I'm going to climb onto Daisy and take my place in her saddle. That's better.
How fantastic. You did it in time.
Well,
In an
a few minutes late.
amazingly quick 45 minutes.
Now, Daisy, walk straight. I may fall asleep and have a nap. Well, I'm looking forward to
Let Daisy walk straight. You weigh tons with all that stuff.
That's rather rude, isn't it, Daisy? You're insinuating that Daisy is not strong. She's stronger than you, Master Elf. And she's got more muscles than you. Actually, her ears are more pointed than yours.
I do believe that.
Oh,
But
hang
maybe
on.
you've overpacked.
Your ears. Elves aren't related to donkeys, are they? And horses?
I grab the reins and start walking while they're arguing.
Oh, thank you. That'll keep us going straight. Right, get my blanket out. Oh, handkerchief. Where's my handkerchief? Ah, there we go. Oh, back in the seat. Put my blanket up. Oh, I love traveling in the afternoon sun.
And it is a beautiful sunny day. There are a few scant clouds in the sky as you travel along the Great East Road. Getting to Combi is no trouble at all. There's no need for any journey rolls or anything like that. After all, it is barely even a day's travel on the worst day, and you all are traveling along the road. Once you get past the great hill that Bree is built into and on top of, you'll then take kind of a side track heading slightly north, leading just along the edges of what appears to be a marshland of some kind that, if you're familiar with the area, is known as the Midgewater marshes. Not a terribly safe place to go. But long before you get to the eaves of the Chetwood, and as I said, within a matter of minutes after leaving the Great East Road, you see a small house here and a hobbit hole there built into the side of a small mound. There's some nice fields that are fenced in. And in the distance, you see smoke rising, which probably is from the quarry with that much of a plume of smoke. And yeah, before long, you're kind of in the midst of Combi. It's not really a town center type of town, although there is a fairly large well beside a small pond, if you will, and there are a few what look to be shop stalls that people have kind of set up, but for the most part this is a farming community that also some of the people living here work in the quarry as well.
Nice.
And you see men and hobbits going to and fro, working. Everyone that you shout hello to just kind of looks in your direction, and when they see Hamson, they smile and wave. But you see quite a few narrowed eyes at the sisters and the, I assume, still hooded figure walking along with them, whose clothing is, for all that he remains hooded, clearly elven, quite different from that of the people around these parts.
People.
We're gonna have to watch that hobbit. That's Mungo Foxbear, a troublemaker, known troublemaker. Watch out for him.
No, from these stairs, I think they think that we're the troublemakers.
Oh no, that's just you and him. Well, you kind of stand out. Maybe it's because you're fairly tall.
You don't stand out. You're just short.
I mean, there are.
Don't worry, everybody. We have 2 Rangers of the North and an elf here. If you haven't seen an elf, there's an elf here.
I think that is what's causing the looks, Hamson.
The elf.
You shouting around.
No.
Oh no!
The fact that we are rangers and an elf.
Exactly. They don't see much of that around here. I'm surprised they haven't come over and actually asked us what we're doing. Don't worry,
what's
we're here to help you.
As soon as Hamson starts, what's the word? Not minstrel, but like you're kind of being like a crier, as it were.
Yeah.
For them. But as soon as people hear mention of 2 rangers and an elf, quite a few people kind of stop and take a lingering look. You even see a few people, hobbits and men, who look like they might be more interested, possibly because of what they've been dealing with recently.
Would we know of Combe? Like, would they have a leader in the town, or is it just the community kind of thing?
You could always ask around.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't really have a town center per se, and you definitely see nothing in the way of like a town hall.
Oh.
Definitely smile a bit more. Make yourself more warmer and open.
We are extremely friendly, but
I know, no, you are wonderful. You are both wonderful.
oh, right, okay. I get where you're going with this.
Well, we're here. We're not going anywhere. We're here. We've arrived. We're in the village.
Well, let's head to the town hall and see if we can find any
Again,
information.
no
about
town
this.
hall.
Oh, I mean,
No inn.
The center of the town. There's probably a well somewhere over there. Maybe we go there. Maybe there's something there. In fact, I'll jump down off of Daisy. There you go, Daisy. Excuse us. Hello, everybody. We are here to assist you. We are here to talk to the troll. My friends, the Rangers, want to talk to the troll. And they will tell him to go away.
So as Hamson is just kind of shouting out and all this, the rest of you notice, although Hamson doesn't because he's too busy orating, a hobbit who, if it's possible, is significantly smaller than Hamson, kind of coming up from his side. You assume it's a child, and Hamson, as you're orating, you feel a tug on your trousers.
Oh, hello.
Hello, sir.
Oh, yes. How may we assist you?
I'm Daisy.
Do you know what? That's so remarkable. My pony here is Daisy, and now there's yours, Daisy. Yes. I named her after another hobbit I knew called Daisy. Maybe you're related to her. The other hobbit, not my pony, of course. Anyway, Daisy. Yeah, how can we assist you? We are here to, we're here to protect them. Yes.
We're here to rid them of the things that plague their.
Yes, we are heroes and here to help everyone out. How can we assist you, Daisy?
Well, if you were looking for someone to talk to, you could talk to Old Man Breaker.
It's delightful of you.
He's the oldest man in town.
Ah,
And he owns the town.
Old Man Breaker. I'll pull out a little apple. Thank you, Daisy. There you go. Enjoy.
He takes it and runs off. Well, she points
Thank
towards
you.
what's clearly a large, not mansion, but it is a large home. It is a stately home, fairly central to town. It's not attached to any land, apparently, because there are other homes around it that are also attached to fields. So this is, I don't. It kind of even gives you the sense of almost like a library or a museum of some kind with the way that it's built. But she points towards it and then she runs off.
Well, fortunately, I have found us the answer. We need to go and see Old Man Breaker.
Old Man Breaker. Okay.
Yes, literally, he owns the town, or, well, village, settlement.
This
And
place.
it's over there. Now, yes. Yeah.
You maybe let's find a place to hitch up Daisy.
Oh, we'll hitch up Daisy outside. It'll be fine. I'll find a tree for her.
Yeah,
Give her an
there's
apple.
plenty of trees and bushes around.
That's the
It's quite
fortunate
nice
thing
here.
about this place. These hobbits, they're so friendly. So friendly. Well,
They are wonderful people.
just watch out for Mungo. If he comes up, he's after your daggers. You haven't got any daggers, have you?
No.
no. Well, you should be safe then.
I do.
Let's go.
Oh, you have a dagger. Oh, I'd watch it then. He's quite sneaky.
I'm sure you can keep an eye out
I
for
have
us for
a
those little
dagger.
sneaky fingers.
Oh, yes. I'll be keeping an eye on everything going on. Don't worry. You're safe with me. I'll protect you all.
Much
been doing this a
obliged.
long time, you
Call it
know.
a hunting knife, but
I've got my sword.
Cool,
Right,
and a
let's go.
sword.
you mean
It is,
that
it is,
dagger?
it's a sword. It's a sword.
Yeah.
It's a sword.
It's a dagger.
No, it's
It's a sword.
a well-made
It's a
sword.
beautiful and fantastic sword.
Now, that's like saying your boots are suitable for the environment, but they're not. How can you be comfortable in boots like that? They're so pointed. You know, I'll lift my foot up, wiggle my toes. Look at that. Yes, good hard foot leather.
Hanson,
Yeah.
why don't you lead the way for us?
Oh
'Cause
yes, yes. Come on, Daisy. Let's go.
So as Hampson starts heading towards Oswald's house, or the large house, you assume it's Oswald. The same hobbit that Hampson was kind of like motioning at comes over and heads directly towards Traston. Mainly because I guess Traston kind of almost seems like held apart. But he walks right up to you and he says, "You don't be listening to that Hampson Cotton, you hear?"
And
why
is
would that
my
be?
good
Speaking to
sir?
Traston,
Oh,
he don't know nothing.
rude.
He is eyeing your blades though on your belt.
And what was the name again you said?
Mungo Fox.
Mungo Foxbur.
Master Foxbur, I presume.
Yes. And don't be listening to Daisy. You ain't gonna get nothing good from Old Man Breaker. People around here don't trust him.
And they trust you?
Nobody trusts me, but at least I know it.
Then why should I?
You'll know when you see him. And yeah, he just walks off. You hear, as you're traveling there, you hear some people kind of chittering here and there off to the sides. You hear one person talk about Old Man Breaker's late wife, and then you hear somebody else talking about a spirit that's haunting the ruins of their ancient mansion out in the valley. You hear one person who's certain that his wife kind of like left in despair, mainly because of how Oswald treated her. The people in town, it's very clear as you listen to people as you walk past, they are not happy with Breaker. But what can you do? He's the landowner. Most of them essentially work the land for him, while he provides for the town, and he has his defenders. There are people who will say that the town wouldn't be what it was without him. The homes that they have and the land that they have access to wouldn't be as grand as they were without him and his influence, both over the nearby land and the quarry. And then you also hear a few people lamenting the loss of their livestock. There's a couple in particular who mention having lost quite a few head recently, if you wanted to go speak to them instead. But it's up to you.
I think I would go and speak to them.
Yeah.
Leave the others, Hampson, leading the way to Old Man Bleeker. But if I hear somebody talking about their livestock going, then obviously.
So, sure. Does Hampson? Do you think he notices the Rangers kind of splitting off away from him as he's marching towards Breakers?
I'll stay with Handsome, and I look at.
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hampson is quite alert, so he probably would notice.
Okay.
But who wouldn't go off and search for something wonderful in a place like this? It's just amazing.
Right.
Of course, you want to look round.
I just say to Narnell, are you just going to go and ask around and see what the score is?
Yeah, it seems the easiest way. I mean,
Okay.
they're talking about their livestock, so this old man might know the whole story, but might as well see if they've seen something too.
Okay. We'll go and speak to this old man then. Be safe.
I'll catch up. You too.
Okay.
Should I join you, Narnil?
If you wish.
Okay.
I'll join Narnil.
So,
Come on then, Handsome. It's just me and you.
The dream
Hampson
team.
Iraniel
The
to
best.
Breakers and Narniel and Traston to speak to the locals. Cool. Let's go with the locals first. So, you said you were approaching one who was talking about the loss of their livestock?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a young woman. She is, definitely salt of the earth. She looks like she's worked the land for the majority of her life, for all that she appears young. And she kind of looks up and furtively, but still politely, says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?" And the other person who was there with her, a young man, they appear to be just conversing as townsfolk, not necessarily as if they're a couple or anything like that, just probably another farmer.
Now, in the grand scheme of things, is it, if I was to kneel to their level, is that...
Oh, I'm sorry, these are men. These are not hobbits.
Oh, men, alright. Okay.
You might still
I
be
would kneel
taller
to
than
their
them,
level.
and generally kneeling to be on the level of a hobbit is not something that you see a lot of people doing around here, because kneeling has other implications, obviously. So yeah, that's your call. But these are men. So
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Hi, sorry. We've come to town because we heard stories about a troll attacking livestock, and I overheard you, so I wondered if you could tell us some things about it.
Have you come out from Bree? Are you Bree wardens?
No, we were passing through Bree and we heard, so we thought we would come and help out.
Oh, well, yes, we've lost quite a few of our livestock. Myself, Jaren here has lost quite a few of his as well. It's been going on for months now.
Months. So is it just livestock they seem to... Are they attacking or just stealing? I'm not fully sure on the circumstances here.
Not even stealing. More just slaughter. I mean, I can show you on my farm where they've been recently. They they slaughter the livestock there and take the parts that they want and leave. They're not even using all of the carcass. They're just like taking bits and pieces, it seems.
That's
Could you maybe
strange.
take us to where the livestock's taken?
I can, yes. It's on my farm. It's not far.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. We just have a couple of people who've gone to see Old Man Breaker.
Oh, Oswald.
Yeah.
He's not much help, but
Yeah, we were told by a young girl that he would help, so we're just trying to get as much of the story as we can about where this might be happening, because it seems very strange.
well, it is strange. I remember stories from my grandmother who told of trolls taking livestock, but in her stories they were always taken,
Yeah.
not just slaughtered in the fields.
Has anyone seen this troll?
Well, no, but everyone. What else could it be?
That's why I want to see where the body, where the livestock is taken. Maybe I can see some tracks. Make sure they are trolls or whatever.
Okay. Yes. We'd best go before the sun sets if you want to. Track, you said? Look for tracks? I'm not much
Yes.
myself.
Footprints, you know.
Yeah, I'll just go grab my sister and our friend, and then we will join you quickly.
Oh, very well. So, we'll deal with Perennial and Hamson then. So yeah, you get to the front of the house, and as Narniel and Traston go off to speak to some of the locals, doors closed, obviously.
I'll knock on the door.
Okay. Ooh, sound effects.
Sound effects, I know.
It takes a moment. And in that moment, why don't you both go ahead and give me an awareness roll? Wow. Okay. Wait, why is that listed as a
You tell me.
Do you have weary checked on your character sheet right now? Because if you do, you should.
I don't think so.
You do.
I do.
The only that hurts you in the long run, so I'm not sure. You may have actually passed that check. Can I see the numbers? Oh, you did. Okay, so weary had not been pressed. You would have passed that check, I believe.
Okay, I didn't realize I pressed
You would
weary.
have been at, let's see, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so what weary does, if any of you are ever struck weary, is it effectively makes any 1s, 2s, or 3s that you roll equal to 0.
Oh, okay.
On your success dice. So you can actually look at what you rolled, and I can see here that you actually rolled a 5, a 2, and a 5. So it counted the 2 as a 0, which put you at a 15, which would
Okay.
pass. But with that 2, you actually beat your target number of 16.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. Anyway, so you definitely hear that he's speaking to some other people, and kind of, from what you can make out, it's more like he's telling them just, wait in the other room, stay out of it. Very brusque.
I'll tug on my companion's leg. You wait here and talk to him. I'm gonna go and sneak round and see what's going on in the back. He was talking to some other people. Okay?
Oh, they might have been his family.
Oh, they didn't sound like his family. He was a bit, Oh, you just go on in. I'm just gonna sneak around the back.
Before he
Okay.
walks off, I grab his shoulder and go, "Be safe.
Oh, of course, I'll be fine.
Don't do anything rash."
Oh, I never do anything rash. And I'm quite good at getting into places that, things I did as a child. Anyway, I must go. I'm just kicking around the corner.
So yeah, just as Hamson kind of scoots around the corner, the door opens and you see an old man. To one of your kind, you would guess that he was probably close to 250 or so to a Dunedain, which is very, very old. Well, let's see, here it was 87. So yeah, 250 or so. He's, long graying beard, kind of wispy, but at the same time just scraggly. Bald head with just kind of frayed hair just kind of going out. In the age of men, he's probably in his 70s or 80s, you would guess. And for all that, he still looks hardy, although he is using a cane. And he opens the door and he says, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Good afternoon. Would it be a problem if I could have a few moments of your time?
Kind of leans out of the door and looks both ways. "What do you need, miss?"
Just a moment of your time. I need to speak to you about a problem that you may have with a troll.
Looks you up and down, not in a inappropriate way, but just more of a interested, kind of confused way. And then he says, "Yes, very well, come in." And he guides you into his home, to a small kind of what you would assume is like an office, where he kind of casually waves at one of the chairs and he goes around the side of the desk and sits down in the chair at the desk and says, "Yes, well, people have said there might be a troll roaming these parts. I'm not so sure. Are you with the Bree Wardens?"
No, but we found out you were having problems while we were in Bree. You are the landowner, I assume.
"Well, I do own much of these lands, yes. They're been in my family for ages."
And have you been affected by the troll?
"Well, I don't do any of the work, but I'm affected by the troll as much as any of my landholders are.
Oh,
Their loss is my loss."
and what have you done to investigate this?
"Call out to Bree, didn't I? Several times. They seem not interested or don't believe that there might be a danger in these parts. Which is not uncommon. They tend to leave the smaller settlements to fend for themselves."
So you've not been out and looked yourself? Or sent a party out?
"Well, I don't know if you've looked at the people as you came through town, but these are not really the warrior type, if you take my meaning. And I'm certainly in no shape condition to do anything of the like."
Oh dear sir, I understand that. It must be troubling times for you. Have you had any word where it may be based or where it's coming from?
"Well, I know that they hit the apple tree farm. Little Jill Appletree, she's a wonderful little creature. It hit the Briarwood farm. There's a few others further out. People at the quarry have complained about things lurking, particularly of an evening. The quarry is relatively well defended by troops from Bree, for obvious reasons.
Well, not for myself, as you would understand, but is there any? I have a very eager friend. Are you offering a reward for any of this?
Well, I'm certainly of the means to offer if that's what you're after.
No, I personally am not. But I have a colleague who is out to see the world and gather treasures, and I'm sure he would be most pleased by that. But by the by, this is something we can discuss at a later thing. Accommodation. There's 4 of us. I don't suppose there's anywhere in the hamlet that we could accommodate if we are still here as dusk
It is getting
draws
on
in.
of an evening, isn't it? There's a small cottage on the edge of town that is currently not ill-used, mind you, but not being used. If you're interested, I could put you up there.
That is most splendid and so generous of you.
Well, it's not being used. There are no supplies or anything, but the walls are sturdy and the roof doesn't leak.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you for your time. We will find our way to the cottage you have mentioned and given us directions to.
Where are you from, if I might ask?
We came from Bree.
You're from Bree.
Oh, originally, no. We're from. Yeah, I can't tell you. The cat's on my notes.
You want to tell him?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not
Being
bothered.
honest?
I would.
Okay.
Yes. I can't get my notes. Reg is literally sat on them.
Numinos.
Yes, I'm from there.
Your family settled there, or? I don't understand. Normally, that's a place of. Are you a ranger?
Yes.
See a slight shift in his eyes, and not a negative one. And with that, we'll jump over to Hamson.
Okay.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm sneaking around to see if I can see who he was talking to. I'm putting my best foot forward and my stealthy boots on. I mean, my stealthy feet on.
Sure.
Curling my stealthy toes.
Are you gonna try and get into the building, or are you looking to climb through a window or something like that? Or are you just trying to look through?
Oh, I'm trying to find I'm trying to sneak round to a position where I can hear someone maybe in another room towards the back of the house. It can't be a large house.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes,
okay.
and you know, getting my tweaking the old ears and listening and seeing what's going on.
So let's go ahead, just to kind of encapsulate all of that. Let's get not so much stealth, although that might come into play in a bit. Scan. Let's get a scan roll from you. Okay, so you can't really see any method of getting into the building unless you wanted to just head for the back door, which is relatively prominent and easy to find.
Yeah, okay.
But as you are kind of skirting and kind of trying to get it, you do hear other people talking. You hear, you are quite, sensitive's not the right word, but you are, as you said, alert. And so you clearly hear what you have learned by now is Iraniel's voice speaking to someone near the front of the house. But yes, you do also hear some voices speaking in hushed tones.
Can I keen my keen hearing and my senses and use awareness?
Yes. Ooh.
For goodness sake.
So, yeah, I mean, you can hear them. You can tell there's probably 2 or 3 people having a conversation. They don't seem too put out. The tone is kind of relaxed but hushed, as they were instructed to keep quiet. I don't know. Did you want to peek through a window, take a chance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
One.
So you see 3 men. With men, it's always difficult for you to determine age, but these are certainly not young men.
They're tall.
They are tall.
Key
One
point.
of them, and for those who are listening, pardon the strangeness of words, but of course we refer to both men and women as men when we refer to them, because that is the name of the race. But 2 men and 1 woman, and they are strangely dressed in a very way similar to your new friends Iraniel and Narniel are.
Rangers.
You think maybe so?
I'm going to. Can I move a little bit closer to the door and just get my ear on the door and just kind of cup my ear, see if I can hear what they're saying again? Actually, maybe I could just quietly open the door. Just a crack,
Okay.
just to
Make a stealth check.
make it just a little crack, just to, yeah. What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go?
A little more than everything.
Ooh,
Great success.
great success. Yeah, okay, so you managed to open the door very, very carefully. Apparently the stout wood and wattle of the walls definitely made it difficult to hear. And yeah, you hear them talking about doing some research on something, some kind of nameless horror that they've been hunting up near Anuminus. And that's about all you hear until let's flat back to Iraniel and
So where were they?
Breaker.
Where were they? Hunt. You said they were hunting a nameless horror near where?
Up near Anuminus in Lake Avendim. So northwest. Nope. Yes, northwest of where you are currently.
Oh, Anuminus. Yeah, Anuminus. Yes, I can see it.
It's where our ranger friends are from.
It is. So
Not that I believe we do. Did we know that? Did you guys tell
yeah,
us?
they told you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they told you during the campfire introductions.
Yeah,
I told you the brave
Uh,
story. Iraniel told you where we're from.
What wasn't as brave as my story though? Fighting off that corn.
The cornrows, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Old Man Breaker asks you if there's anything else he can help you with. He says, by all means, if you do figure out what's going on, please let me know. I am concerned for my people and their efforts. Angie there?
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, no worries.
Didn't have Mark to say, "You're muted. You're muted."
I know.
Mark's probably downstairs with a scotch, isn't he? Ah, peace.
No, he's at his desk. He's got a room. No, you lost me now because we talked about Mark.
Yeah, he stands and kind of guides you back to the door. Thanks you for your apparent willingness to help, and asks if there's anything else he can do to help you. because he is, of course, concerned for his people and their efforts.
Well, we will just be making some inquiries, really, and I feel that I would like to make an approach with the server attacking you and ask them to leave. But if all else fails, we will do what we can to rid your village of the troubles.
I mean, I've certainly heard of people reasoning with such beasts in the past. It's uncommon. More often than not, I hear of people tricking them and vanquishing them in the normal way. But however you take care of the problem is perfectly fine with me, and I'm sure it will be perfectly fine with the people of Combi as well.
My only fear, which has been mithering me all day, is I know that talking can sometimes be the better way in some circumstances. My worry is talking it away, and even if we succeeded with that, it would be just moving the problem elsewhere. Which is...
Well, it might be, but at the same time, the world we live in, you have to ask yourself, can you remove every threat like that?
No,
Or
I
do
mean,
you
they have a
sometimes
right to
have
survive.
just-
They have a right to eat. It's just that, fortunately, they eat us or our livestock. But if you go back to nature, everybody eats, or every animal has to survive. It's
Well,
quite
then
a
the question
quandary.
becomes- Then the question becomes, are we talking about animals, or are we talking about servants of the enemy?
Well, I don't know. If he's just surviving, then maybe we could move him on. But if he's doing it under instruction or led by something evil, then that's a different thing altogether. But maybe if we can speak and find out and investigate, these answers may become more apparent.
If it helps your mind, I will tell you that whatever this is, whether it's a troll or anything else, it has not yet taken any of the people of Combi.
So then it is
If
just
any
surviving.
of my people had been injured, I would be more vehement in requesting help, in a very certain kind of help.
So it's obviously just surviving and feeding.
It might not even be a troll.
But everyone said it's a
I've-
troll.
I know, but the people around here are they're very excitable. But from what they've told me of the sites where the livestock have gone missing, it's more like they're being slaughtered in the field, and that's not my experience that we've had with troll in the past.
The
Troll
livestock.
generally take the livestock,
Yes, and eat it.
full-bodied.
So the livestock is literally just being killed for no reason and just left in the field.
That's what I believe.
Well, that's quite disturbing. We'll go and make some questions, and if we hear anything, obviously I will report back to you.
I would appreciate that. It was nice to meet you.
It's nice
What
to meet
was
you.
your name?
No, you.
Can
I
you sing
forgot
it
now.
to me?
Ireneal.
It's Ireneal. My name is Ireneal.
It was nice to meet you, Raniel.
Could I ask one favour? We are going to
you
be
may.
going out now and doing some questions around the town. I have a very interesting, hungry hobbit travelling with us. Would you send some provisions down to the cottage for us? Because unfortunately we won't hear the end of it if he doesn't get to eat 17 times in the next hour.
We don't even get to
I
hear
know.
the end of it, even if he does eat.
Anything that you could do that would save us time to till we can do our investigations would be greatly appreciated.
I will speak to some of the local farmers, but you may wish to speak to your friend about the possibility of him, if he wants provisions, maybe purchasing some from the people of town. A penny
Oh,
or a
yes.
silver can
Well,
certainly go
I'm
very
happy to
far
do
here.
that, but if you've got anything that you could just send down just for the immediate moment in time while I'm off up into the fields.
I will ask a few friends of mine to
I appreciate
potentially
that.
take some provisions down to
You
the
are-
cottage for you while you ask around town.
You are a good man.
You notice that after you mention that you're from Annuminus, his entire demeanor towards you changed. So that's important to keep in mind. And he ushers you to the door and he says, if you'll excuse me, I have some other matters to look into.
Blessings be with you, and walk away.
And to you. You did also notice while you were inside that many of, certainly his office, but also some of the hallways, if you glanced either way into any of the other rooms that you may have passed, nearly every room is lined floor to ceiling with books and scrolls. While a library, in the way that we think of it, might not be a thing in Middle-earth, his home is a treasure trove of knowledge. And so, yeah, I guess, do you trundle back around the corner at that point, Strain?
Yes, I probably would do.
Or were you waiting for her to come out the front door?
Actually, no, I'll wait till she comes out the front door to hear the front door close.
Okay.
And I'll kind of hang around and keep listening, keep watching these rangers, because, you know. Yeah.
So yeah, after the front door, if you're hanging out, then after the front door closes, you hear some measured steps heading to the back of the house, and then you hear what could only be Old Man Breaker.
Through the
And he
slightly
says-
open door, I'm listening.
Okay. And he says, I'm sorry for the interruption, my friends. That was apparently a relative of yours. You aware that more of your kind were in the area? He said, no. And a short conversation follows between them where he gives her name and they say, oh, yes, we've heard of those young ones. They're from one of the other camps. They're not from our camp. But we do tend to be active in the same areas. They have heard that the two of you have headed south to kind of find yourself, but they would not have been, what kind do that. And yeah, it's just a pleasant conversation between them. They move back deeper into the house while Breaker is talking about some volumes that they might look into for more information, and then they're kind of beyond reach towards the front of the house again.
Well, things are afoot. I kind of gently close the door, turn, and start stealthily walking around to the front, looking left and right, being totally, totally obvious. No, not obvious. Totally stealthy as he
The opposite of
sneaks
obvious.
around the back. Yes. Maybe overcompensating. Poke over the hedge.
Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun,
take it I see him.
You do.
Ah, there you are. What a thoroughly pleasant chap that Breaker guy is. He's so amazing. He's given us a cottage for the evening, so we've got accommodation, and he's going to send us some food down. So I mean, so generous, such a nice area. Should we go and find the others, because he thinks it's not a troll, he thinks it's something else, because trolls tend to attack livestock and eat them, and this, that, whatever it is just attacking them. It's not eating, so it's not a survival thing that's going on here. It's
AFK, sec.
actually a slaughtering.
Sorry, I need to drop off a second. Be right back.
Yep. Okay, so while Strain is AFK, and because I think we want to get back to him as Hamson interjecting with you and talking about what he found, let's go back to Tony and Scoon. So you head out to the young girl's farm, young compared to you. She's probably in her late 20s, early 30s.
She's barely out of her diapers.
Right.
In elven terms.
And exactly. And she, along the way, introduces herself as Jill. Her family has worked these lands for a decent amount of time. While they don't own the land, they kind of feel for it. You know, her family's been on this particular farm for 3 generations, so it's pretty important to her. And while the light is kind of failing, her farm is not far, and you make it to the farm and the fields. While there's still enough daylight to see, you don't really need to light a torch or anything like that. She takes you out to the site of the most recent boss.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
Any tracks or clues that would show me what exactly it is that
Okay.
killed the livestock?
Well, she hasn't cleaned up the slaughter as of yet. And so you both have hunting, right?
Yeah.
So with your skill in hunting, you both can see that the animal was pretty much shredded. There are parts of it missing. It's difficult to say what was taken at the time that it was cut down, because your guess is there have probably been some local scavengers that have been at it as well. And in fact, as you walked up, there were a few crows that were kind of pecking at the leftovers. This clearly happened like literally last night, would be your guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as far as looking for anything more specific, I am going to need a scan roll from each of you in order to look for tracks or anything like that.
I think I would be looking more of maybe actually at the animal to figure out if there's any detail of what it might have been. So I'll be looking at the
Oh, okay.
bigger claw marks,
Sure.
and trying to see what that might bring as well, and then where it
Yeah.
is and everything. And he said,
Let me make sure scan is a good skill for this, because that might be a better. Is scan. Yeah, examining something closely or attentively. That's right. So yeah, scan. Trivio?
scan.
Me too? Scan?
Yep. Ooh, wow, great success.
Great success,
Sure.
nice.
Yeah,
Me.
for scan.
Nice.
Ariel, not so much.
It's,
However,
it's
12's not bad.
just too much
I know,
been
it's cool.
scratching at it.
Right. So with your failure, I'll still give to you that it looks like whatever was attacking the livestock did so in great kind of long sweeps, because there are long sections cut into the hide.
Okay.
So that could be associated with a troll, although trolls are more known. Like it would be a troll with some kind of a bladed weapon, I guess, because trolls don't necessarily have claws. They crush things. They bite them. They're not like, they don't have big talons. Maybe a bear. Maybe there's any number of predators, but it would be odd for a predator to kind of hop a fence, move into a field. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and not eat everything.
right, exactly. Now, Skoon, with your great success, it takes you no time at all to find tracks. And there are tracks. They are booted tracks, kind of milling around the corpse, as it were. And in fact, with your great success, you work out that there are 5 sets of tracks.
Do I see them coming from the farm? Because if they are coming from the farm, I try to not follow those tracks anymore to discern which
Oh,
ones
good
are from
question.
farmers.
So no, all of these tracks, in fact, are coming in. As I said, they're kind of milling around, but then they're coming in from the north.
With the information, I would say, I think, Narniel, you are telling me what you see in the hide?
Yeah, I would have explained what I was seeing,
Sure.
because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get the good guess straight up. I would be saying this out loud to you, knowing that you are a man of the land as well,
Right.
or
Yeah.
elf of the land, whatever. Um,
With my find of these tracks, I would immediately discern that, yeah, this is not the work of a troll.
Yeah, certainly not sized for a troll. Although we
Well,
all
they're
know that
boots.
trolls wear boots.
They're boots, and trolls don't wear footwear.
Right.
but these are
They
very
only wear a loincloth, if I'm not mistaken.
these are very long. These are like sweep attacks. Could these be done by man? I mean,
It wouldn't surprise me. It looks like these tracks are boots. I've never heard of trolls wearing boots.
but why would they just take parts of livestock? If they wanted to steal the livestock to eat, you would take the whole thing.
I don't think it's for stealing. There could be a lot of reasons why someone would do this.
Out of spite.
Trying to get the farms away,
Mm.
making sure, trying to take the land by making the farmers leave by themselves. There are many reasons why you can do this.
Okay. So to the north, what's north of us? What's in the direction they were going? Sorry.
So
The north has
to the north, if you continue, there's kind of a where Combi is. There's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a liminal area between the Midgewater Marshes and the Chetwood. That is neither, but also both. And if you head north through that area, which I mean, they're not small. It could take a day or two to get through. But then once you're clear of that, you're kind of into open country that's still lightly wooded, but also starts to rise into more hilly country, as you can see a little bit further north and more to the east as well, are the Weather Hills.
Okay.
So there's lots that could possibly be found there.
Okay, so it's not a clear thing like,
there's-
oh, there's a
It's
town
not,
there
yeah,
or
it's
something.
not that there's a specific town. Now, you do know that north of here, quite a significant ways north, several days, is Fornost,
Okay.
which is now a ruin, although you have heard tell that there might be people trying to resettle. Much farther north than that is the Northern Downs, which again is just more hill country. But if we're talking about relatively close, then yeah, you're probably dealing with somewhere in between Chetwood, Midgewater Marshes, and the Weather Hills, kind of.
Yeah, because it's a regular occurrence, isn't it? So they won't be too far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is someone who's it is relatively regular, so you're probably looking at no more
What-
than a day or two away.
What exactly is Weathertop? Is that also just a ruin on top of a hill, or?
So Weathertop is a relatively famous ruin. You definitely would be familiar with Weathertop. It used to be a watchtower that is on one of the hills closest to the Great East Road. But then, and it kind of depicts it on the map as well, there are a lot of towers, all ruins now,
Over the
on
Weather Hill.
several of the hills throughout the Weather Hills.
Yeah,
that
because-
were used kind of as a network for watching communication, things like that, by the ancient.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't even
countries.
surprise me if they come from there, but they just take a little bit of a walk around to get people off track.
Well,
Weathertop is not really known to be inhabited by anything, but you could be right. However, going north through Chetwood and Midgewater marshes and then cutting to the east, you're looking at probably a week of travel in that case. So that might kind of put Weathertop out of that range for
Yeah, okay.
somebody who's showing up every day or every couple of days. Yeah, that's like 5 or 6 days on that path. But
Yeah,
again,
it wouldn't
you
be
know,
normal.
you'd have to track them or maybe wait for them to come back and then follow them.
so I'll turn to Jill and just so this happened. This is the most recent one, yes?
Yeah, I found this one this morning.
And when was the one before that?
A couple of days before.
And how far away from here was it? Are they just
It
focusing
was
on?
on my. I thought you were speaking of my farm. No, other people have lost livestock even the night before last, and then the night before last. Whatever it is, seems to be alternating between farms as if we wouldn't recognize,
But
as if we wouldn't talk to each other.
Okay, so it's definitely coming every night. It's just, but it's making its way through each of your farms. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And you've never seen anything? Is it like, has anybody heard anything? Any strange goings on?
Well, to be
when these things
honest,
happen?
I mean, looking at her farmland, like even if she did sit out at night to try and catch something, it's still pretty expansive, especially when all you have is like torchlight.
Yeah, true.
But she says, yeah, I'm like most of us. I'm too frightened to stay out at night to try. What if it is a troll?
Which is
There's no
understandable.
way I can stand against it.
No, that's fair. Okay, well, I thank you for your time. I don't think there's anything else that might be helpful for us right now. I just need to find my friends, and then we will chase them down. We will follow them and try and stop this.
Okay.
Oh, actually, one last thing. Everybody speaks to each other about the happenings, doesn't they?
Yes.
Do these slaughters seem to be happening in any sort of pattern? Like, are they going around the town, or is it just sporadic?
Well, it seems to be, from the people that I've spoken to, it seems to be only the farms on the northern edge of town.
Okay.
And as far as, is there a pattern, like they hit mine first and then Jaren's next and so forth? Not necessarily, but they never hit the same farm twice
Okay.
in a row.
Okay, so it's yours last night. Okay, well, thank you for that. We should be okay from now. If you wish to return home for supper.
Oh, thank you. I must get to preparing it. And yeah, she heads back to her farmhouse.
How far away are we from the town?
Oh, short walk, like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. Would there be, for rangers, would there be any sort of call to, like, basically like a special whistle or something that somebody else would be able to pick up and ascertain where, from the sound where it is?
At the distance from town, you'd be talking about some kind of a war horn. And it's certainly possible. It's not unheard of in Middle Earth to have a horn.
No.
I was hoping she was gonna do some weird scream or something.
No, I think it would be more like if I'm walking through, I'd make the call, and until I receive a call back from Iraniel. That I imagine that's something that we would set up if we ever got separated.
Right.
Maybe we've got a whistle that we use from when we were like a whistle when we're kids.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
That distance.
Just grab your cell phone.
Yeah, you're definitely beyond whistling distance now.
Yeah.
Even a piercing whistle.
Yeah, no.
I think
So-
we'd head back into town and asking if anyone had seen which direction you went. Maybe.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's the idea. But I'd like go closer to town and whistle, waiting for
Sure.
the whistle back.
Sure.
So I wouldn't lose track of Traston, but Ireniel would know where we were when she got close enough.
Well, again, my goal here is not to make this difficult. So we can say that through some, either you're heading back and they're heading out. They spoke to someone and saw you heading off with Jill, so they're kind of going in that direction. You guys link back up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you're probably still within town. Maybe not so central anymore. The cottage is kind of in the southern part of the town, closer to the pond and the Great East Road. Kind of on the other side of the pond from the kind of town center. So yeah, what do you want to do? Or how do you want to engage with each other? Role play.
Well, we're still wandering along, and I'm still waffling on about how nice this guy was. And Hanson, are you okay? What's the matter?
Shh, bend down here. Shh. I've got something to tell you.
Okay.
There were 3 rangers in the house with him.
He had
And he-
guests. How lovely. At least he's not alone.
And he told them your name, and they seemed to know you.
Oh, I wonder if they were from my town. Maybe we should go back and introduce ourselves.
Well, it seems... I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, what's the odds of 5 Rangers of the North being this far south of North?
We do get about, and it's maybe tomorrow I will catch up with them. It would be
Yes,
so pleasant.
Look at what happened when you were in Bree. No one sees Rangers of the North often. You're not common folk like us hobbits as getting around a bit about in Bree. It's rare to see a ranger. There's only one thing rarer than a ranger, and that's an elf. And now we've had 5 rangers and 1 elf in a matter of a day.
And what a pleasant experience that will be when we can all get together and have some green leaf tea, which we could share.
Oh, we could cook some mushrooms, couldn't we? Mushroom soup. Just need to get some mushrooms.
Anyway, I have acquired as a cottage for the evening. The gentleman was most obliging. We told him that we are here to help sort out, as I said. And I even did ask if he could send some supplies down. I'm not sure we can get a lot, but he said you could buy some from the village. But it is getting later in the day, and there may not be some people about.
Those rangers, they were hunting something. Do you think they're hunting the troll?
Oh, well, more help the merrier. That would be wonderful.
What if they take the treasure?
There is no treasure. I did ask if there was a reward, and I think there may be a small reward for getting this, which, again, they don't think it's a troll. Bit of a disappointment.
No treasure.
No, there might be a small reward.
I skipped afternoon tea for this.
Right. Well, life is slightly disappointing sometimes, but we make the most of it.
Not
We
around
gathered
here,
some
it's
nice
not.
herbs on the way here when we were going past those hedgerows, and we get to stay in a different village in a different part of the, so we get to see a new area, make some new acquaintances and some
Well,
new
I've
friends.
seen this area.
Well, it's the step on to the next one, so
I've been to Bree before. I was hoping to see a troll.
well, there's something slaughtering the animals, so we get to find that out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a band of something bad.
A band of bad rangers?
No,
Can
why
rangers be
are
bad?
you so hating on the rangers?
Well, I was wondering what they were doing in there.
What have the rangers ever done to you?
Well, nothing. I like the rangers. I like you and your friend, your sister. But I don't know those rangers. I know you. We're like best friends.
Yes, so stop assuming
Travelling
the worst in
companions.
everybody. They may be just travelling companions themselves. So let's go and find the others and see what we can
Then go
find
see
out.
the rangers, yes?
No, we're going to find my sister and we're going to go and see what's happening and make some inquiries and then vanquish the... You can get to vanquish something with
Well, I
your
thought-
sword skills.
I thought you wanted to talk to the troll.
Well, there's no troll to... Right, look, let's just go and find the others.
No troll.
So you almost stumble into each other in the deepening twilight. Not run into each other, but very quickly you come upon each
Ow.
other.
It was your knee.
Haha. Well, how did you get on? It's not a troll, apparently.
No.
I can assure you that it isn't.
It's rangers.
It's not rangers. Oh my...
Why would
Why
it?
would
Why,
this
why would Buffy be
rangers-
rangers?
Conspiring
Don't
with
say-
the old
don't say
man.
it- Don't say it isn't.
It would not be rangers.
Well,
Well,
they could have been bandits.
they
But
are.
they look like rangers.
just- They are people that wear boots, and I know trolls don't wear shoes or
Is it-
anything on their feet.
What gets me is how much of a coincidence is it? Do you see 5 rangers of the north so far south instead of north?
I'll look over at
2?
Vinny and say,
Yes.
5?
5? No. Very unusual.
But I entered the house and I spoke to Breaker, and he's a very pleasant gentleman. He has given us a cottage for the evening with some supplies in,
Oh,
and he is very concerned about what is occurring upon this area.
did he send anyone out, or did he go and look himself?
Actually, no, he's not. He sent word to Bree to ask for help, and Bree didn't send anyone.
So he didn't send the rangers out that he's got guests in his house to help him.
They
So
may
they're
have
not-
only just arrived today.
They look like they were well settled in.
What does well settled in look like?
Well, they arrived
They
before
were
us,
smoking pipes.
and there was some pipeweed going.
Well, they
Wait.
probably arrived this morning and lit a pipe up.
He probably made them afternoon tea.
Wait, what
Wow.
rangers? What rangers?
Oh, I saw 3 rangers of the north, this far south. When I would not normally expect to see 5 rangers of the north, and I've seen 5 now. There's you 2, and there's those 3 there. But surely rangers of the north should be far north, not south.
He had some
No,
guests.
We are of the north. No, we are from the north. That is all.
Oh, right. Maybe they're bandits. It could
Okay.
be them.
Well, I've shared the information that we have found. What did you find?
3 rangers.
Traces and tracks that it are definitely not trolls, and that there is some foul play because I found a lot of tracks of boots coming from the north.
From the north. Yes. Mm.
Yeah, we
From
went
the
to
north.
we went to the farm that was attacked last night, and
Oh.
obviously the livestock was still there.
You went to the farm without us.
You were chatting.
Oh, I wasn't. I was sneaking. I was at the back door, you know.
I'm sure.
That's how I know about the 3 rangers of the north, this far south. And yes, they were wearing boots.
I mean, I think everyone apart from the little wereboots.
I,
Okay, so say the Rangers are in the house. What is wrong with the Rangers being in this house?
well, I don't know.
Do you not have
Are you
hobbits that
certain-
visit each other at each other's houses?
Am
Are
I
you certain that all rangers are as well adjusted as you two?
honourable? Honourable is a word.
They are.
Yes, everyone is pretty well certain of that. Well, that's not true. Bree folk don't tend to trust rangers.
Apart from
But
Mungo,
elves,
he's not
elves
honourable.
know rangers. And although Traston might not be from this side of the Misty Mountains, you definitely would have been. You would have heard the elves of Rivendell and the elves of the Grey Havens speak nothing but good things about the Rangers of the North,
Okay.
the last descendants of Numenor. Like-
might have encountered some of them during my
Likely, yeah,
messaging travels.
absolutely.
But again, if they were good rangers of the north, why weren't they out looking for the troll?
They probably just right. Okay, can we stop going on about the Rangers?
I won't mention
patience,
it again.
I need to.
Are you certain they were rangers?
Right.
Because maybe
Although they
just...
were dressed fairly simple.
So,
And they did recognize Araniel's name.
They recognised her name, yes.
yes.
They knew
And if
her.
you did you ask them their names? We might have known them. We might have been from the same town. It would have been lovely to catch up. But right now, we have to.
I think they said they were from another tribe.
Oh, interesting. Well,
Another
maybe
camp,
tomorrow we will catch up with them. So, you went to the farm.
Yes.
How interesting.
We went to the farm, we found boot prints, no animal tracks, no nothing, but there seems to be long sweep attacks going top to bottom on the animals, so if it is men, I'm not entirely sure what they're using to make these marks, because they do appear like claw marks. It's very strange. And they only take certain parts of the animal.
If you use
what
a
part?
blade
Taking
in a
parts of
specific
animal.
way, they can look like claw marks.
What parts of the animal are they taking?
We don't know.
Teammates.
There'd been other people, there'd been other animals
That's
nibbling
true.
throughout
Those
the day.
scavengers.
Did they take the
But you're-
rump?
I mean, I
The-
think it's
was
more the
missing.
insides. Was it?
Oh, so
No,
they
a lot
left
of the
the
meats
they
were
left,
missing
they-
too.
Ah,
Did,
okay.
did they take off the sirloin? That's just a fine joint. That is fine.
I don't even know where the sirloin is on it.
I don't know.
Or was it a pig? The animals? What animals were there? What was attacked?
I don't even know.
Uh,
I had a vision in my head there was a sheep, so
Yeah, so
yeah,
did I
this
for some
particular one
reason.
was a sheep.
Yes.
Mutton!
Okay.
Oh, leg of lamb.
How can you think?
Perfect for dinner. Some roast tatties, some carrots. Oh. You get the tatties. You put a little bit of butter on them. You put them in the oven. Oh, they are crispy
Why
skin.
is
I'm sorry, I gotta
everything
ask.
that
What is it? What is a tatty?
Potato.
Potato.
Oh, okay. I'm back on board. I gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
I mean,
What
you
is
could.
potatoes
You
precious?
could. I wouldn't recommend it. But you could put mushrooms with it. A mushroom. But I think leeks. Leeks would go lovely.
Why?
We,
I have an idea.
the trolls
Let's
will
head,
be eating. I'm just disappointed we don't get to meet the troll.
let's head down to the cottage to
We
leave
got us
our
the cottage, folks.
belongings.
Yes.
Let's head down to the cottage to leave our belongings and then get ourselves weaponed up and then head back to the villages on the north and see if we can hear or see anything for the evening.
yeah,
But after dinner.
yeah. They
Yes,
come at
after
night.
dinner.
They attack the farms at night, so we're
Mostly.
gonna see what we can.
And maybe if we
Yeah, I
get you
almost want to
fed
say
and
that
watered,
too.
fed and
They
watered for the
mostly come at
evening, we
night.
might be able to get at least an
Mostly.
hour of listening before your tummy starts being empty again.
Oh. Well, as long as we're back for supper, that's okay. I've missed
Yes.
afternoon tea. Yes, we need to be back for yes.
We'll take a break to rest up and eat, and then we shall adventure out.
You didn't happen to get any of that lamb, did you? You didn't think to,
No.
Sitting in the sun all day.
So disappointed.
While the adventurers are resting up, shall we have a quick wee break?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. So we left our fellowship on the road in Combi, having a discussion about
Mutton.
food and food.
No, it wasn't a
And
discussion. It was just someone talking
Rangers-
about food and we just trying to.
Rangers of the
Go
North who were too far south,
Yeah.
They should be
they're-
north. Yeah.
they should be north.
Yeah.
So I think you all were going to go take a look at the cottage and get yourself kind of situated there. When you arrive at the cottage, there are, essentially imagine like a few baskets of, there's some cheese and some,
Cheese!
a couple of wrapped up meats ready for cooking. There are a couple of bottles of, there's a wine, a few ales, a mead, and a note from Oswald Breaker saying, welcome to Combi, please enjoy your stay. If you find out what's going on, please let me know. I am happy to host any or all of your group at any time. Yours, Oswald Breaker. Very pleasant, very nice. And yeah, he basically, giving you the run of the small cottage. The cottage has a small kind of seating area, an area with an old brick oven that clearly would work quite well. There are a couple of rooms. Each room has a couple of beds in it. Not so much in the way of decoration or anything. It's clear that there hasn't been anyone living here for some time. But, as he said, the walls are sturdy. The roof doesn't appear to leak.
Hamzen's kind of walking along the furniture going,
It is dusty.
well, hasn't been cleaned in a while. So
And
who
there's no-
wants to start?
There are bed frames, but there's no bedding on the frames. So you'll have to take care of that.
That's okay. In a kickback and honor for an old game, I carry clean bedding with me.
I go out to Daisy and I pull out, a nice couple of blankets for me, nice sheet, plump the pillow up, nice new pillowcase, fresh handkerchief, walk back in. Well, I'll go and have that bed. I'll make a nice little hobbit bed up.
Nice.
Well,
Plump up the pillow. Just need some flowers, a bit of decoration, some curtains.
We're
Everything will
just
be fine.
here for a few minutes. You want to make yourself a meal before we go? I would say we will leave in about 45 minutes.
So what's the plan? Are you going to stake out one of the farms or a few of the
Where-
farms?
Whereabout is the cottage situated?
In the
So the
south,
The
so we've got
cottage is
to,
in
we've got
the
to.
southern part of town, so you'll have to kind of traverse and go to the northern part, the northern farms. And
Is
there
it, like,
are-
In the middle, I mean.
after?
Or is it, like,
it's
south-
more, it's more
southeast?
towards the middle of town.
Okay.
It's more towards the middle of town.
It's
So
not. We'd have to, yeah.
think of the center of town being kind of centered around that large pond that I mentioned, and there's a well. And the well is kind of on the northwestern part of the pond, or close to. It's not on the pond. Oswald's house is kind of in the northwestern part of the pond, and then the cottage is kind of on the south shore of the pond. It's
Okay.
it's large. It's not a lake though. It's still a pond. Like you can see across it. Traston could probably fire a bow across it, but it's not a small body of water.
Probably. You
Traston
underestimate
could
me there,
certainly
sir.
fire a bow shot across it. So yeah, that's on the southern part, but still more central to the town. And then on the northern edge of town, there are several farms that have been attacked.
Okay.
Well, I'll make some stew, and I'll make enough so we've got some for supper later. We can leave it on a low simmering heat. When we get back, we can have a late night cup of stew. Warm the insides before bed.
That actually sounds like a grand idea.
Yes, yes.
It does sound perfect.
Well, let's get some potatoes and some mushrooms, and I'll start pulling out. And 45 minutes, you say? It's going to be tight. You may have to wolf it down.
Here's some of those herbs I was talking to you about earlier.
Oh. Aren't these stinging nettles?
No.
While you're going through the materials that were set out for your party, you do find another letter, or I guess small note, but it is sealed with what appears to be a seal of a scroll with a pin through it, possibly Oswald's seal. And it's addressed to simply Master Hobbit.
Ah! Important letter for me. Senses the importance here.
They know you're here already.
What? Could you just keep an eye on
Well,
the stew?
Ronnie
he is
did
quiet about
mention him.
Don't
It's not
let
his
it.
name.
Don't let it over boil. If it starts to boil, we need to lift it up slightly so it simmers. A gentle simmer. Oh, hang on. A bit of salt. There we go. Bit of salt. Right, I'll open up this letter.
So the letter actually contains an itemized bill for everything that's in the that was provided in the cottage for you, well within your means.
Delightful, yes.
And
Easily.
if you're checking, and the prices are quite good actually comparatively to say Bree or Hobbiton.
Most reasonable.
It is a smaller town.
Well, it's between us all, the food is. Yes.
Wait, what?
The food they sent over. The cheese and the bread and the mead and the ale. There's a bill here for it.
Yeah, it comes out to around 5 or 6 silver pennies, which is certainly more than either of the rangers or the elf have carried in their purse in quite a long time.
Hang on.
I ever carried any money.
I hear something. I hear something. Do you hear it?
Is your stew bubbling over?
No, it's the tiny pitter flapping of butterflies from your coin purses. Don't worry, my friends. I've got this.
Most gracious of you.
Happy to do it.
I don't even own a coin purse. I've never owned a coin purse in my 2,642 years.
Oh. So you're pleased to see the ladies then? On back to the stew.
So I missed that. I was trying to look to see if I had any coins.
Are you gonna throw some coins at us? or chink them, I guess, in a bag? That's funny. So yeah, make the stew. Everything's good. What's the plan for the rest of the evening?
About what time are we at the minute ish?
So with the 45 minutes for making the stew and getting settled in cottage, you're probably looking at, early evening, 6, 7 o'clock.
What time does it get dark?
Because it's spring, isn't it?
It should be getting dark relatively soon, probably within the hour. It'll be full dark.
I can tell you exactly what the time is right now as I'm eating my stew. After dinner.
It is, in fact.
Only
after
we
dinner.
had a moment for dessert. I could have done a little sponge pudding.
Dessert.
Maybe
Right.
there will be some bees we could get some honey from. You can sprinkle some honey over a sponge pudding.
Well, there was a bottle of ale, so that means that someone around here has a meadery,
Ah,
and that means bees.
the ale went in the stew. Oh. We're liquoring them up.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Do you see any honey though? Beehive or anything?
So I think if we head north and maybe you have an idea of all the farms that were hit.
I mean, it's all the northern towns, but they never go to the same farm twice in a row. It seems to like vary, but it's always just the northern farms.
Pulling out my pipe, by the way.
So would
Having
it be?
spoken with Jill, she mentioned that aside from her, there are 4 other farms that have been hit.
Yeah.
So 5 total.
How many farms are there at the northern end of town that we know?
Only 5 that have been hit.
But I want to know in total.
You haven't really done a census, so it's difficult to say. However, it's not a large town. And
Because
those 5
they're all-
are probably the most northern reaching farms. Before you get to the quarry, because the quarry lies north of those farms as well.
Well, maybe we should just head up and go to one of the farms that hasn't been attacked. You can knock on the door
That
and
was
say,
my
"Hello,
idea.
have you been attacked?" No.
I mean,
it was my idea if we find out which farms are not yet attacked, we keep an eye out on those farms, because there's a big chance they will be next.
well, they've attacked these 5 farms multiple times, just never in
No,
concession.
I believe
Never
they said-
concurrently, yeah.
I thought you said never 2 times. All
No,
just
they-
once.
2 times
Never twice
together.
in a row.
In a
never-
row. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they only attack them once and then go to the next.
So, if you describe your interactions with Jill and her discussing the farms that were hit, what I will allow you to do, and I think this is probably going to end up being Roniel, if I remember correctly, one of you taking all that information, whoever has the best lore can make a lore skill to kind of figure out a pattern that would make sense.
I have 2 lore.
So it's up to you who rolls,
I'm
but
just trying to remember
probably
where
the
lore
best
is.
idea would be the person with the best lore skill
Uh,
and or favored.
yeah, I'm favoured in law.
I'm
Lore.
not favored in lore. No, but
Okay, where do I look
you
for
are
lore
favored,
again?
but we are at the
Was-
same
was
level,
it
but
you-
you are
was it
favored. So I think you're
Arniel
smarter
who was
than me.
better? I thought it was Araniel who had better lore.
Arniel has the same level of lore as I have, but she's favored.
Is she? Oh, there I am. Yeah, I've got a tick and 2 triangles.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
same as
okay.
me. Yeah.
So yeah, whoever wants to make the roll
So one of
is
you
fine.
two.
I'll do
Go
it
on,
this time.
Tony, you do it. Go on.
Okay. Work that arithmetic, figure it out. Ooh,
No.
Okay.
When I asked you to roll, I meant that you roll good. Seriously.
I mean,
Actually,
You
no,
never
hang
learn.
on. Let's back it up. Back it up. This is a good time to go with assisting, right? You guys can work on this together. So we're going to ignore that last roll.
Okay, yeah.
And we're going to talk about how to assist each other.
Okay.
So, in order to assist another character, you simply give them an additional success die. However, if they are your fellowship focus, you give them 2. So,
No, she's not my
Choose
fellowship focus. I went with Hanson.
did Narniel take her older sister as a fellowship
Yes.
focus?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Iraniel can make the roll with 2 additional dice. And favored. Well, you're already favored.
So bonus
So we're
2.
going to ignore Nania's roll.
And I'd go bonus die 2, yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
There we go. Success.
There,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so yes, you think you've pretty much sussed out a pattern where, given enough time, it probably would have been obvious to everyone. But it seems like they're sweeping from east to west kind of every week or so. So you feel pretty strong about which farm they're going to hit next after Jill's. So that might be the place where you would want to go to get set up.
Okie dokie. So I'll do that by like drawing some figures and like the little mini map just to.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're all talking business
still
while Hampson's cooking.
Don't you all have access to the map that Mirabelle? That's not her name.
What about Mirabelle?
Yeah, Mirabelle made for Hamson.
Yeah. So I've sat with that and I've got and I'm just sort of like just marking it with a few dots and then go, I think we should try here.
Right.
By just looking, it's not much of a pattern, but there is a slight thing. So let's head to this town. Maybe we head off as soon as we've eaten, and maybe we can speak to them before.
Is that where the troll is?
It's not a
There
troll.
is no troll.
Unless the troll wears boots, right?
There is no troll.
Well, whatever
You're going to be
it is,
surprised if a
Really
troll
funny
turns
if
up,
I
aren't
draw
you?
a troll encounter.
maybe if we get there quick enough, they can move some of the animals away to another field. So there's not so
Or
many.
depending upon what it is, you could spook it and chase it off and then track it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's eat this food very quickly, and then we'll get off.
Yeah.
And if we're too late, we might have dinner tomorrow.
Save it up.
I mean, I would
2 in
hope we
one
have
day,
dinner
yeah.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Well, we have dinner every
animal.
day. Oh
I'm not hungry.
gosh.
I had a piece of lemnos bread this morning.
The lembas bread. How much do you have? Do you just have a satchel full of lembas?
You can go
maybe.
for
You
weeks
do-
with
you do
only one
travel.
lemnos bread.
Yeah, that's fair. You probably only need one.
Let me
One
slice
little,
the bottom of that
What do
bag.
you call it? A loaf.
Yeah, and then you just take a piece and then you eat, and then you're filled for
Yeah.
the entire day.
Slice the bottom of the bag, shall we? Filthy hobbit!
You're gonna
Filthy!
get that elf to eat your food one way or the other. All
Ah.
right, so
I think Treston rather hunts his own food and prepares it than he eats something from the Hobbit.
I don't know, man. Being the GM, I can tell Traston that whenever the Hobbit cooks, it smells really good. He is quite good at cooking.
Senses can deceive you.
Bless you.
Fair. That's fair. So as you finish up and head out to the farm, you get there probably by, let's say it's getting on towards midnight. By the time you get to the farm, do you really want to knock on the farm's door, or do you just want
Yes.
to go out to the field?
I'm going to
That's
knock on the door. Yeah, we're knocking on the
I
door.
was gonna say if the lights are, there's no fire on. Oh.
No, there was
Lan-
still a light in the window.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, an older man comes to the door. He's like, "Yeah, what do you want? What's going on?"
Sorry
We
to disturb you.
understand. Oh, you carry on.
We are here to investigate the attacks on the animals.
Oh, you think they're going to attack here tonight?
There's a
Yes.
pattern.
What animals do you have?
Oh, I've got some sheep and
Sheep?
and I've got
Good.
some free-ranging.
Chickens?
Why did I just forget all farm animals. I've got some pigs, some hogs out there.
Pigs. Bacon.
He's kind of looking at the Hobbit like,
Have
what is he doing following you folk
some
around?
chill.
I'm here to help.
Oh, all right. But yeah, I have several different kinds of
They would
livestock out in the field.
starve without me.
Most of my livestock would be in the paddock and the barn at this time of night, but some like to roam free, and I let them do as they will.
How far? Like,
I have some horses.
Maybe you should get as many as you can into the barn and leave a few out in the field, in one of your smaller fields.
Do you? Maybe I
Oh,
might have an idea.
I would leave a
Maybe
pig
have some.
out as bait.
Do you have maybe some barrels that you can put on, like those? I don't know how they call them. Those crosses where you put the barrels on, on some stands, and some sheep hides, or at least wool that we can cover those.
Oh, I
barrels
think I
with?
see what you're saying.
He wants to make a jumper. Marvelous! I didn't realize that our elf here could knit.
Have you ever seen a herd of sheep in the dark? They all look like they never move.
Right.
Really?
If we place
He
barrels
has.
in the field with sheep wool over them, they just look like sheep standing there.
He
What-
does have some freshly shorn segments that he could use, and there's enough wood scrap, and an empty barrel shouldn't be hard to procure from this farm.
I
if you
have an
wanted to set
idea.
something like that up.
I have an idea. Why don't we put the sheep's wool on you? You can go out in the field on your hands and knees and go, bah, bah, and it will attract them in there. Then you can rapidly pick up your bow.
You are more sheep-sized than I am, so why don't you?
No, I'm rather too small for a sheep.
You could be a lamb.
Oh, a lamb wouldn't be outside without his mother.
Good sir, shall we go into the fields and get as many of them as we can for now?
Yes.
To your barns.
Have any of you ever herded sheep
Sure.
before?
I have. The
Oh,
man
well,
raises his hand.
I was assuming that you had. I was talking about my friends because I would quite like to see them herd sheep.
I've hunted animals in the wild.
This is not hunting.
So he gives a quick shrill whistle
Oh,
that
look.
you can feel is like a very specific sound, right? And suddenly a dog that you didn't know was there, a hound, shoots out of the front door of his house and runs out into the fields and starts herding all of the animals towards the paddock.
Wow. This is rather good, isn't it?
You've trained that dog admirably.
Thank you. I've been working with her for years.
Marvelous. This is so good. This is so much fun.
Let's go out to the fields.
Did
When-
you want to lead one of the sheep back out into the field, or are you
I
going
think
to?
maybe it's
do your
smarter to
construction,
use the
like-
barrel idea. Then you will not lose your sheep.
I'm just thinking of the time constraints we have for that.
Oh, it wouldn't take long.
Yes, it's almost supper time. We have to get back to supper.
Hampton.
Left
No.
stew on. for
Would you
us to
please
suffer.
stop thinking with your stomach for one night?
Mike, it's you that's going to have to put up with my grumbling tummy. You know, have you ever been in a room with a hobbit with a grumbling tummy, hungry? It's shockingly bad.
You're not hungry yet, though, are you?
Oh no, not at the moment. It's not quite supper time
Okay,
yet.
so we'll get. Can you get the barrel things ready quickly?
Yeah.
Let's get it set up.
I'm sure you will make an absolutely fantastic job of it.
Absolutely, I think he dresses up quite nicely. He'll make a perfect sheep.
So with the farmer's help, whose name is John, you get the materials, and he introduces himself as you're working with him closely to get this thing together.
Delightful to meet you.
And you, Master Hobbit. And so you go out to the field with all the stuff, and you kind of put this thing together. under torchlight. Someone will be carrying a torch at this point, I would imagine.
I'll hold the torch.
Not everyone can see like the elf in the dark.
Shine the torch by the elf. Is this helping?
Right close to his face. Do you need more light?
As I go into the... This is
this?
remarkable what you're doing. It's okay, I've got another one. Always come prepared.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to put your decoy together. Now what?
Is it in this in this world that elves also see a little better in dark than other races, or?
Yes.
Then I would say I will
as
take
long as there is sunlight, like moonlight and starlight, you can essentially see as well as if it were daytime.
And is there?
Is there? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a clear night.
Then I will look for a spot to hide, and I still have a clear view of the decoy.
That's going to be difficult because these fields are fields. They've been cleared largely. There's not. Yeah, okay. We can say that there's a hay bale, or perhaps a large, very large, like two person high, several person wide boulder, perhaps that was not able to be cleared. So it's just a central feature in the field. But yeah, there's things that you can take some cover behind and still be able to observe the decoy. The question is, how close to the decoy do you want to be?
Can I ask
do you want to be? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Were there cows grazing in this field?
There have been, yes.
Excellent. I'm going to help him out in his efforts to disguise himself while he's looking at a nice spot and getting that hay bale. I'm getting a nice, big, fat pile of cow pats. I'll just take it and just kind of put it on him. There you go. This will help disguise you.
Do you want me to keep my bow and arrow that I can keep an eye on the decoy, or you want me to put the arrow in your eyes?
Well, I'd rather you be the decoy, but I'm trying to help you
then
not get scented out. Oh, goodness me.
How many times did I tell you that I know how to hunt?
Oh, you've told me many times that you like to hunt.
Then you must know that if I look for a hiding spot, I make sure the wind is going into my face, as in they do not smell me.
Oh, but the wind often changes around here.
At this point?
Using our ranger stealth skills to find somewhere to be not seen.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what I would do is, looking at what direction they were most likely to come in, is be a ways away, but kind of just be in the grass hunched up. Because, I mean, I'm assuming rangers will have a dark cloak or something to cover. So essentially, I'm trying to just be a shape in the distance.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to feign being an animal.
Yeah. I imagine you probably would put the decoy relatively close to the perimeter of the field and the fence, so you could potentially be in some of the more rough greenery just past the fence, but still within bowshot of the decoy.
Yeah.
Or like I said, there's probably a few haystacks, maybe, like I said, a large rock outcrop. So there's definitely enough space for all of you to find a place to hide and still observe the decoy nearby.
Yeah.
So, unless Sir Hamson wants to fling some more cow pads.
No, after I've assisted my elven friend, I have absolute total trust that the Rangers of the North, having known more about the Rangers of the North than I do about elves and their hunting techniques, I know our ladies are going to be sweet-smelling and hiding comfortably. So after I have assisted my elven friend, Hamson will find a nice, quiet spot to hunker down and wait.
Okay.
And as he's sat down, he'll kind of, I don't know, pull out a sandwich,
Sure. Yeah, you still have those sandwiches. Well,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. You may have
Oh
consumed
no,
all of them.
cheese sandwich. Yeah,
You
Kinda-
you had one in your back pocket. You forgot.
Yeah,
You've been
yeah.
sitting on it all day.
yeah. I'll pull out an onion and start chopping the onion. Take the bread off and put some nice pungent onion-smelling onion into my cheese sandwich, and kind of close that up, and then pull out the rest of the ale that didn't go in the stew pot. Little bit of a picnic blanket just on his lap.
So just as Hanson is finishing up his sandwich,
And then afterwards, I'll be pulling out my pipe.
hang on. Before that, so just as you finish your sandwich,
Okay.
Narniel, being just beyond the fence in some greenery, actually hears someone speaking, and it's kind of guttural, but still somewhat high pitched, and it's like something's good. Just focus on the sheep. And you hear a group coming down, I should say, from the north. And doesn't take long before you can all see several goblins.
Yes, they're not rangers.
They're not rangers.
Didn't
Now, I
even
don't
consider
know.
goblins.
I don't know if Hamson has ever seen a goblin, which is essentially just a small orc. These are, they're attired kind of in, the normal way for a goblin. They do wear clothing, they wear boots and all that. They have scraps of armor, but their stuff is generally in very bad repair. It's often scavenged from, well, to be honest, graves, or sometimes battlefields. Not generally well taken care of either. The five of them that you see appear to have several weapons. Among them, you see a couple of tips of bows kind of peeking up over shoulders. You're certain that they all have blades of some sort. And yeah, they're just kind of casually marching in as if they have nothing to be afraid of. One by one, they hop over the fence.
How many was there? Sorry.
No, go ahead. There are 5.
I'm assuming we would have discussed this beforehand, but what are we actually doing? Are we following them, or just
Good question.
attacking
Let's
them?
assume that you have talked about it beforehand.
I thought you were talking to them.
Oh yeah, we are definitely
I
talking to them.
Just planning on
You
seeing
wanna
if
talk
they
to
would
them now?
attack the decoy, because that would prove they are the ones.
They seem to be heading right for the decoy.
Yeah, and then I will stand up once they go to attack the decoy, and I would say, "Hello, who goes there?"
And I will
You
go
stand
like,
up in clear view.
Well, I was going to until he said it like that.
So that means a yes.
Okay.
You got to do what you first thought.
So, yep,
Well, you
that's
don't got
true.
to ask first.
Are they wearing
So
boots?
as you stand up, they are. Yes.
Okay.
As you stand up, all 5 of them immediately kind of go into a lower crouch. A couple of them pull their bows. A couple of them pull out blades. And they're like, "Oi, what do you want?"
Maybe I should be asking you that.
I'm keeping
And
my
then
bow.
one of them, like right next to the decoy, is like, "This ain't no sheep."
We're not together, are we?
that.
We're kind of spread out, aren't we?
Yeah. I imagine that you're all kind of positioned on opposite ends of the decoy, so you kind of have them surrounded.
Yes.
I am making sure that if anything goes wrong, I can immediately let loose of an arrow.
Oh, so your bow's out and you're knocked?
It's knocked, yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on what's happening because I hear, of course,
Sure.
Raniel trying to talk to goblins, which isn't a good idea, but okay.
Yeah. Well, given that you're ready, I'll give you a volley first before anything happens. But you're all a decent distance away from the decoy, so you would all get a volley anyway if you have a ranged weapon. We'll talk about that if we get into combat. That might not happen until next session, though, because we're coming up on What is that? 11:30. You all?
10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10:30.
No.
11:30
He's right.
Stu.
11:30. He's right.
Yeah. Confusing.
For me, at least.
So I stand. Obviously, who goes there?
What's it to you?
Well, you seem to be causing a bit of a disarray around these parts. Why are you slaughtering?
Don't know what a disarray is, but we're just getting something to eat.
But why are you in this area?
To eat.
You need to leave.
Well now, Missy. And like he raises up his blade, and the other 4 goblins kind of like they're not encircling you, but they kind of fan out from the sides of him. It's like, looks like you're outnumbered.
I'm going to shout out, Wardens of Bree! Raise your bows! Be ready to strike them down!
Okay, give me a persuade check.
Please make it a good one. Because I do like this idea.
There's not a deceit check, is there?
Don't believe so.
Yep. Oh gosh.
It's a
Woohoo!
success.
Oh my gosh.
A feat success, even.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so instantly the goblins hearing that voice, which somehow to the rest of you seems almost like mystically booming, much more than Hampson is displayed in terms of volume at this point. They stop and they don't drop their blades, but they all start looking from side to side, and you feel like they're about to run.
Am I able to shoot more than one arrow with my bow?
At once?
Yeah. Like turning it sideways.
What are you trying to do?
I want to make them think that there are more archers around.
Okay,
By
so
shooting some arrows as a warning in front of them.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you're not trying to shoot them necessarily.
No, I want
You're
to
just
actually. He says there are a lot of the Rangers of Bree,
right. Sure.
and I want to make them believe there are.
Right. Okay, so for that, I will allow you to do so. It's not going to be an attack roll specifically, but you are still going to be using. Well, technically, I guess you would use hunting for marksmanship, because you're not using your combat proficiency. So yeah, why don't you give me a hunting roll to kind of make it look like there are several archers firing a warning shot on their position.
Nice.
Nice.
Success.
Okay. So yeah, 3 arrows thunk into the ground close to the goblins.
Do we see or
Definitely
hear the
within
arrows?
range. What's that?
Do we see or hear the arrows?
You hear them.
Can I then, I don't know if I get any bonus because I had such a good feat success, but I go, steady lads! There's more than enough for us to gut them. Hold your fire, let's see if they run.
I mean, I'll let that continue with the same success.
Cool.
So you're just building upon the moment, and yeah, they definitely are going to run. Do you let them, or do you engage?
I think this.
If let them run, and if I can carry on, if they come back in this area, we'll hunt them down. Flee, little rabbits.
Might even throw in another shot of arrows to really sink in the message.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a good place to call it for today. So the goblins turn tail and they run immediately. They're showing no order. They break completely. Two of them even drop their blades. And they are just running back to the north.
Infinite monkey tales, infinite monkey tales.